Hi YouTube, Tim Unkert from UnkertEducation.com here. In this video, I want to talk about user input in Python. But first, if you like programming tutorials where I show you how to program in different languages or how to install and set up software, make sure to subscribe. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get started. So to take in user input, we use the input function. Okay. So if I wanted to take in someone's username, I could create a variable, username, and then set it equal to input, and then we're going to pass an argument into this function. So inside quotes here, I might say something like, what is your name? Okay. And then what I could do is I could print that back out to the user. So I could do something like, I could do a print, your name is, and then do a plus. We'll use some string concatenation, username, and then maybe add an exclamation point on the end. Okay, so let's test this program out. So if I go down here, I say, what is your name? I'll do Tim Unkert, and it says your name is Tim Unkert. It outputs that to me. Pretty cool. We could do something too where we took in someone's age. So we could say age equals input. What is your age? Okay, and notice I'm leaving a space here for formatting. And I could print something back. I could print your age is, we'll do some more string concatenation. We'll add the age and we'll say years old. Okay, and if I run this, it should work out okay. So I'm going to say Tim Unkert, my age is 46. Your name is Tim Unkert, your age is 46 years old. Great. Okay, but let's see what is the type of age. So I'll print the type of age. And also while we're here, let's actually print the type of username as well. Okay, so let's run this again. Put in my name, Tim Unkert, my age, 46. And we see it outputs, and then the type for both of these is a string. So we get this class str for string for both of these. So if I take in a number like an age and I try and do something like, let's say what my age will be next year, well, I'll say age equals age plus 1. If I try and do that and run this program, so I'm going to put in my name, my age, and I get an error, and it says type error, can only concatenate string, not integer to string. So I'm trying to concatenate an integer to a string here because this is a type string. So what we can do is we can do something called typecasting here. So what I can do is I can wrap this input here and typecast it to an integer, and I just type int and then parentheses around the whole thing here. All right, so that will typecast it to an integer, but that's going to cause another problem. So let's show you that problem. So now if I run this, I'll write Tim Unkert for my name, age 46, and we get another type error. Can only concatenate string, not integer to string. So as I took in this age variable, I typecast it to an integer, and then I tried to concatenate it here to a string. So I can't do that. So I have to typecast this back to a string. So I wrap that in this str. Okay. So now if I run it, what is your name? Tim Unkert. What is your age? 46. Everything works out good, and the age is now a class of integer. But we can make this a little bit easier. So we still want to typecast on the way in, but typecasting and concatenating with the string here is kind of a pain. So what we could do instead is use something called f-strings. So let's use f-strings. And these are available in Python greater than or equal to Python 3.6. Okay, so if we want to now use f-strings, what we can do is we could do the print, and we do an f before the quotes. Okay, and we can say something like your name is, and then within curly braces we'd pass in the variable, so username. Okay, and we could also do the same thing with the age. Your age is, we just pass in the age, years old. All right, And if we do that and run it, I'm going to enter in my age, or enter my name, enter in my age, and it outputs it to me. And even though I typecast this as an integer, I can pass this into a string. The F string is going to format it properly for me and not give me any problems. Okay, we could also do one more thing I want to talk about is typecasting with floats. So you can do that as well. So what we could do is typecast with floats. So I could say pi equals float. I'm going to wrap an input with the float here, and I'm going to say, what is the value of pi? Okay, and then we'll print the type pi, and let's print the value of pi. All right, now notice when I do this, I don't have to use an F string here because I'm not using any string with it. It's going to be a float. It's just printing out the float. So let's run it. So what is the value of pi? Let's first do 3.14. Okay, gives me a class of float, and it gives you 3.14. If I run this again, what is the value of pi? Let's say I just entered 3, an integer. Well, it still says it's a class of float, and it outputs 3.0, so it converts it to a float. All right, so that's a little bit about user input and typecasting along with F strings. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. If it was, please give it a like, as it will help get out to more people. Thank you.